Yeah, What's up, girl? Yeah. Get it. Welcome back. We are live, coming to you mostly live, kind of alive, ready to thrive inside the dive bar that is this rad hangout. It's not really a bar, but as you can tell from our cool new infographic of the brick wall behind us, that is what we are all about. As a podcast, we are solid like brick and mortar. My name is @Josh_Carmen on Twitter. It's where you can find me and we can connect and chat there.
My name is also Josh_Carmen.
That's his actual legal name.
Garrett is @TStudentLife. You can find Jamothy @James YUILE, and Chris is @Marion Ranch.
I wonder if anybody has the middle name underscore right now.
Probably.
Ooh.
John does, our brother.
No, his middle name is Hyphen.
Yeah, our middle brother's name is Hyphen. So that's kind of cool.
So what's even better is that he doesn't watch this, so he'll never know we made this joke.
So shout out to my mom for really pimping us out and posting us everywhere. Still grateful for you.
He used to watch and get mad at us and stuff.
And John or my mom?
John.
Oh yeah, my mom likes everything we do.
That's why she's a great mom.
Hey, fun fact: Hillary Clinton is an idiot. There. So
Thanks for clarifying
moving
things.
forward.
So my family can stop giving me a hard time for hanging out with Hillary supporters. Just because we make fun of Trump doesn't mean we like Hillary. We can dislike both and everyone.
Vote for the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Johnson. Actually, don't vote for him. Just let's. The only thing I want to see happen.
Just promise him you will, and then don't.
The only thing I want to see happen this election
Same thing.
is watch them go ahead and get a third person onto the debate stage. The world's going to end in 2017 regardless of who gets the presidency.
The Bible says so.
Either via rioting or nuclear holocaust. So one way or the other things
Unless
are
you're
coming to
on
an
Mars.
end.
Unless you're living on Mars by then.
Elon Musk in his new thing last week said they were looking to colonize Mars.
I know, so they'll be the only ones left.
So get into Silicon Valley as fast as you can and sneak your way onto a Land Rover probe. Welcome.
Land Rover probe?
Land Rover, like the Mars rover, Mars Land Rover. But
They're sending a Land Rover to
but
Mars?
Elon Musk makes
Mars
cars.
Rover,
That's
sponsored
why.
by Land Rover.
No, I made a car joke inside of a space joke.
Perfect.
It's not the car I'd want
Sorry,
to take
to
to
the
another
friends
planet
of our
with me.
podcast
The
who are
Tesla
listening,
rover.
clearly this audience is quicker than my compatriots. So,
I'm just waiting for James to say, let's restart.
Do you think an internal combustion engine could run on Mars? I
Uh,
don't think there's enough oxygen in the atmosphere.
you know, I don't
That's a
know.
good
You
question.
could
Off topic.
But the rotary engine could from Mazda. So speaking of
Mazda 3.
Off topic.
The Mazda Speed will be released finally on Mars.
Mazda, thanks for that crummy CX-9 crossover that's only available in China. It doesn't help us here at all. But that does tell you where the car industry is going. So anyhow, for our pop topic tonight, we are looking at
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. If you don't
Luke
know
Cage.
who Luke Cage is,
Carl Lucas.
The best part of Jessica Jones.
You probably have a life. So for those of us who are into Netflix and chill, we just kidding. But I mean, I do chill when I watch Netflix. But Luke Cage is a new show that just dropped this weekend, and we're super excited about it. We all committed to watching the first few-ish episodes or first few-ish minutes of said episodes, and we're gonna have a really stifling debate about this and what's good, what are some of the things that we dislike.
Stifling debates.
Yeah,
We're going to shut this down.
Yeah, like some good, some not
Sounds
so good.
entertaining.
We're probably going to lose a few friendships after this. Hey, also fun fact, Donald Trump's an idiot. So, Luke Cage, what are your guys' initial thoughts as we keep moving?
Well, I like it better than... I haven't finished it. I've watched the first 3 episodes or so. It just came out. And this is more of a discussion not on the whole show, but how it's starting and how it feels at first. And so far, it seems like it's on a trajectory to be better than Jessica Jones. And I would say arguably better than Daredevil.
So what
I
you're
didn't
really
see Daredevil
saying is
season 2.
Really low bar.
You think Jessica Jones is better than Daredevil?
I do not.
No, I said definitely better than Jessica Jones and
Oh.
arguably better than Daredevil.
Sorry, I thought I misheard that.
Yeah. So it's I feel like though as I watch it, it seems sometimes like Marvel is trying too hard
Yes.
at I don't know. I'm not. They're trying too hard to have style, right? They're definitely drawing on, and they've said this, they've admitted this. They're drawing on the blaxploitation film era, which was like the 70s trend. and they're trying to draw from that some of the themes that
Kind of
came
feels
out
like
of
a
that.
cheap copy, though, right?
Right. The music's awesome. I like the music
Yeah.
a lot, but other than that, there's times when it's genius, and then it gets followed up by like, why am I hearing this conversation? Like, why is this happening right now? It seems like there's two directors who wrote and directed the film or the show, and sometimes we're in one of their scenes, and sometimes we're in the other guy's scene, who's not like a great director, a good director and a bad director.
Okay.
And
I kind of see what you're thinking.
yeah, so there's certain characters whose scenes tend to be pretty good.
Episode 4 is a good example of that, but you haven't seen that yet. So.
Right. And there's certain characters and their scenes that almost always are kind of throwaway. It seems like there's like 4 or 5 great actors and a bunch of mediocre actors all around them. A lot of the side characters tend to be really poorly acted. But anyway, and I thought the action scenes were pretty weak. At least the ones I've seen so far.
The choreography is lacking.
Yeah, the fight choreography is.
It's pretty terrible.
I'm just gonna push down these 4 guys and move on. Like I've fixed that.
It's pretty terrible. And then they
Oh
like,
no, he pushed me down. What do I do?
They don't follow him. They're like done. They're like, I'll just stay over here.
They literally, after getting pushed down a few times, they let him totally rob their boss of $7 million.
Yeah.
Hey, careful with spoilers, you guys.
Compared to
That's like the 3rd episode.
Careful with
Okay, so when Luke Cage walks into the building that he inevitably gonna be the long fight scene, you know, I was hoping for like Daredevil season 1 where there wasn't a
that
cut
was
scene
amazing.
and he fights all those guys
Yeah.
and they keep getting back up and he keeps getting knocked out. This was terrible compared to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna push you 3 guys down at once with the one person, and then he walks by and they don't.
They even kind of like after that scene, they make a comment where the detective lady says like he walked into one of their safe houses and just slapped them around. Like, yeah, that's what he did, and it was really lame.
Yeah, and like he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
But somehow all his actions perfectly disabled them, even though some of them were just kind of like pushing their friend into him.
Yeah.
They're like, I guess I'm done.
It looked like dominoes falling sometimes.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was kind of bummed in his fight scenes.
He's kind of too overpowered for his enemies.
Yeah.
For it to be a good story.
Luke Cage is too OP.
And that might be the point, right? Like the fight scenes can't be good because nothing can really hurt him, and he just stands there and just.
So then why doesn't he just go kill the bad guy?
Yeah. But that should be reason for
Chris,
even
it is like
better
defeating the
fight
entire
scenes.
plots.
It should look silly in the opposite direction where he's just literally flinging people around like out windows, through walls. It should be ridiculous
I'm
how he
curious.
treats them.
They
like,
kind of did that
like
in the Chinese
ragdolls.
restaurant, right?
Yeah.
When he just lets the guy punch him in the face and the guy
Yeah, the
breaks his
Chinese
own
restaurant
wrist.
scene was funny.
Like
That's
that
great.
seems like how it should have been.
Is the point of the show to kind of emphasize his physical attributes and strength, or is it kind of meant to be more of like a drama that kind of unfolds?
He doesn't fight a whole lot so far.
Right.
And he doesn't seem to be interested in fighting, at least so far in the show. Things might change in the second half of the show, but he essentially, when the show starts, he's trying to just live his own life and duck his head and be under the radar, but sort of his own principles and his own demand for respect between people kind of force him into this situation to try to help somebody, and that all falls apart, and that requires him to respond in kind. And that's how far I am in the show so far. And there's things I like about the show. I think the villain, super good.
Remy Denton.
Yeah, Remy Denton. Now we know what Remy's doing when he's not talking to to what's his face in House of Cards. What do you think about the villain so far, Garrett?
Yeah, Marvel's Netflix TV shows villains are pretty good. They're, I thought about this before. They're very damaged individuals with their own backstories and their own postmodern reasons of why they're evil. So you can't necessarily judge them, and they're layered. Yeah, they're layered, and they're just responding to the environment around them. This show kind of is another example of that. Kind of pushed into a corner. They've chosen the illegal activities world to make their living, and so you hate them, but you also kind of feel for them sometimes. I think this show doesn't do a really good job of showing why Luke Cage just can't go over there and rip his spine out. Like they argue and then they go their separate ways, and then the villain tries to kill Luke Cage, which he can't be killed, and so it's like, why? What? Like, just follow him back to his house and
and rip his spine out.
Well,
rip his spine out and then go home and go to bed. Like, why are you like
Tuesday?
I'm taking Chris's observation here. It seems like Luke Cage's biggest enemy is Luke Cage.
Well,
that it's his his apathy or his refusal to move is what stops him from getting things done.
It's not necessarily as apathy. I mean, it's episode 4, which I don't think any of you have you watched episode 4?
Yeah.
So it goes into his backstory a little bit, and you can see he doesn't want to get involved. I think he's been taken advantage of a little bit. His ability to fight, not necessarily his abilities, but just he's been manipulated, and I don't think he kind of wants to limit his ability to be manipulated by others. And so he thinks by just not getting involved and not.
Well, also he associates his powers with death, right? I mean, just kind of with the personal loss and the tragedy that he's experienced. So you would kind of wonder if something would have like that type of profound effect on you as the individual. Wouldn't there be a desire to kind of shelf that to some degree, or is that not really a reason?
No, you actually see him using his powers all the time in front of people, and for some reason they're just blind to it. Like, I don't understand that. Like, he moves this giant pile of rubble, and a camera like films him, and everyone watches him, and only the detective's like, how did you do that? And everyone else is like, cool. What was it like surviving that rubble? And like, he just moved 5,000 pounds and only one person noticed it. Like, but everyone was watching.
This is also post-Battle of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one thinks he has at this point. Where I am, no one has questioned his abilities except this one detective. Even though he's done it.
Seems like there's a number of characters that acknowledge his strength, but it's the being bulletproof that they don't believe.
People are.
Yeah, but remember in the barbershop scene when he has bullet holes in his shirt,
and, and she's just like, what?
How'd that happen?
Yeah, and the guy's like, whatever. The other detective's like, whatever. What are you worried about? Who cares? Like,
maybe
who cares?
Shirt was like that when he got it.
Yeah.
He bought it that way. It's an Affliction t-shirt.
So that's a little strange, a little bit of like that Superman put on the glasses, I can't tell who you are, like thing that's not relevant. That's not prevalent in the other movies, Netflix shows. But what you did bring up is that this inner conflict, it's true of most kind of modern comics, or probably comics for a long time. And I think that we're not always used to such depth to that inner conflict.
Yeah.
Because in a Marvel movie, it has to move on and get to the action scenes to keep people from bringing in the money and rewatching it again. You don't need to rewatch Marvel Avengers if it just goes in really deep and really slow.
I've seen it 7 times.
Right, because it's not deep and slow. It's action-packed. And, so I think, and I just read a review, and it's not a good review. Well, it's a good review, but it says that it gets even slower, like,
in the back half of the season.
Second half of the season. I'm like, it's already slow. You know what I mean?
There's a few times, even in the first 4 episodes, where I thought, you guys are having a 10-minute conversation right now, and I think it's just to fill space. Like, I don't need all of this discourse. I should have. I pushed through it. I was like, it seems like if this is a 12 or 13 episode show, which I haven't finished it, probably would have been better as an 8-episode season, right? Cut it down and make it really
yeah, you say that, but they only spend 1 episode on his origin, and they could have spent 3 or 4. It seems like. So,
but they're just the conversations there's too many.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Too many conversations that don't add anything to plot or entertainment.
So a lot of the
just brooding.
Yeah,
lots of brooding conversations.
So to move on, lots of the reviews are obviously relating this to some racial issues and racial tensions today. An article that I'm reading about Vox seems to highlight that as a society we struggle with black superheroes, and that this is somehow going against that. Luke Cage thrives in showing us the American fear of the black hero. Do you think Luke Cage is coming in at the right time? Do you think maybe it's just bad timing in the sense that it's being used to highlight and it's being leveraged to open conversations about racial issues, or do you think it's just a TV show and people are expecting too much of it?
I mean, I think in drawing from blaxploitation themes, that's a whole version of film from the 70s. From drawing on its themes and its ideas and its characters, that it's immediately putting itself in a racial conversation, because that's what those movies were back in the 70s. They were having that conversation. But I don't know, it's getting a lot of praise, but I'm kind of surprised it is, because I feel like Luke Cage is a really solid, respectable character. I mean, there's some complaints about the acting of it, but the idea is the character they're designed, he's a person who demands respect and gives respect abundantly, and I really like the way they portray Luke Cage himself. But he's surrounded by a lot of trash people, and it seems like it's shooting itself in the foot in the sense that, yes, we're going to put forward this really great African American superhero, and yet at the same time the show is filled with all these stereotypes, and mostly bad stereotypes,
right?
From the same community, right? And it's like, what? How does this work? How is this? It would have been better if we had this respectable Luke Cage character who is working in a much more diverse community, where
stereotypes aren't being reinforced.
Right, where stereotypes aren't being reinforced, and in fact, as the African American, the black presence in the story, he's the most respectable character. That would have been quite a statement, I think.
Yeah, but I think that brings up a good point that this is just, in my opinion, this is just a TV show. And for all I know, the Luke Cage story in comics could be 15 or 20 years old, and it's just like they're not trying to make a statement with this coming out now. This was just scheduled to come out now 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't literally, Netflix wasn't even a thing. You know what I mean? But this is just part of the Defender series on Marvel, and it happens to be a black character. So,
well, I don't know. I think they draw some comparison, especially making it like a Harlem story. I think they're drawing on history.
Making him
but the Defenders takes place in New York, in those kinds of areas.
Yeah,
there are some amazingly happenstance things that are great at the same time.
Like him wearing a hoodie all the time.
Yeah.
Being bulletproof.
Well, to talk about the history of the character a bit, when he was designed as a comic book character, he actually was in the 70s, and he was a blaxploitation character.
Right.
They were totally like recreating like Shaft or something like that for the comic books.
Who's the man?
Right. Marvel often does that. Whatever's like pop culture of the day, they develop a character to represent that culture. And what ended up happening is, and then he was like a Black Panther, or he looked like one. I mean, he wasn't officially Black Panther in the comic, but they're designing him based on like Black Panther, like kind of classic clothing.
Because they do have a Black Panther.
Right, and then moving forward in real time in history into the 80s and the 90s, he kind of became an irrelevant character until they decided to sort of reboot him and make him more representative of modern culture.
Right.
And then the TV show version of him, it's the modern Luke Cage, but with the stories and the themes of the 70s version of Luke Cage.
Right.
So they've kind of done this, well, we'll take the 70s world he was in, but use the modern sensibilities. And they're kind of mixing those two things.
Yeah, and I got that sense even in Daredevil, the kind of the world that they're coming from, of the way they portray New York and Hell's Kitchen is from an earlier genre of storytelling. I could definitely tell that. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up this way. Is it worth watching? Chris, I'm going to let you start and give you reason.
I got 4 episodes in and went and rewatched Deadpool.
Okay.
So is that a yes or a maybe?
So out of a 1 out of 5, Deadpool.
Yeah.
1 to 5.
If once everything else is off season, then I'll probably go back and finish it.
Okay. I'm going to finish it. I had a hard time getting through Jessica Jones. I think I'll finish this before I finish Jessica Jones.
Oh, you're not even going to finish with Jessica Jones?
I'm trying to, but again, I'm the huge Marvel fan here, and I'm having a hard time finishing some of these Netflix.
You watch S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sentimentally speaking?
Which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is great.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Have you guys have you all finished the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes, I've watched like 3.5 seasons.
And it's not great.
I stopped.
I went back and rewatched Deadpool.
Okay, so Luke Cage, I watched the first episode pretty intently. Second episode, I was on my phone for about 2/3 of it. Third episode, I fast forward a quarter of it. Fourth episode, I watched intently. So hit and miss a little bit on my ability to keep my attention.
Hit and miss your. Oh, okay.
So worth watching with the fast forward button on.
Especially when like they do this thing where they show how the episode ends in the first 5 minutes, and they always show like a climax point, and you're like, what? How did that happen, right? And so then all of a sudden it just starts into like pure dialogue for the first 30 minutes, and then, so you're like, so I was like, I kind of want to see what happened, and I never do that. I don't skip forward in books, but I just had to do that. It was also like
so on a 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Deadpool.
I mean it's a 3.5.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a solid 5 out of this, and here's why.
Because you've only watched 6 minutes of it.
No. Because, like with every other Netflix show, the bad guy drives it better than anybody else.
Yes. Well, maybe that's the
I'll
whole
give
point.
you that.
The character who plays Remy Denton in Cottonmouth in this one, right?
Don't want to mispronounce his name.
And yeah, it's Mahershala Ali. And maybe I killed that, butchered it, whatever.
It's a microaggression.
Correct me in the comments. And is that
They
does that
will.
register as a microaggression
Yes.
now? Oh,
Mispronouncing
Everything
names
is.
is a microaggression.
Talking about microaggressions is a microaggression.
okay. I wonder where he's from. That would also be a microaggression.
Yeah.
Why
does it matter where he's
micro.
from?
And so
He's
no,
from Irvine.
But like every single character in each Netflix thing that I've really fallen in love with.
Villain.
Every single Netflix show that I have enjoyed, the villain's always been the dry. I can't stand the Daredevil character. I think he's not very good. I wish Leghorn, whatever his name is, would die. But Kingpin is spectacular. Jessica Jones is just really weird for like a female power comic because she's just like a raging alcoholic, and so it's like it's just a weird thing to me. But the villain is, other than the fact that you could just defeat him by putting in iPod headphones. The villain is my favorite part of that, and then again, I am in love with this.
He's like, hey, take those out of your ears. I don't gotta listen.
Yeah.
You don't control me.
But Cottonmouth, I think, is an excellent character. But I also just like him as anything he does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say totally watch it, and also don't go into it expecting fight scenes and things like that to be good. We've made that very clear.
Yeah, they're not great.
Let the drama unfold and let the dialogue unfold. So understand that it is dialogue heavy. It's going to be dialogue heavy, and some shows are good like that. And if you kind of set your tuners and your expectations to understand that, then you will have a far more enjoyable experience.
All right.
So, with that, make sure to let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoy the video, like, share, spoiler-free, no less. And we would love to hear your thoughts. We are at faithandwhatever.com. Be sure to check us out there. Read our blogs that are coming up weekly now, so that's pretty exciting. And last but not least, you can find us on facebook.com/Instagram. faithandwhatever. Instagram, we are faithandwhatever. Twitter, we are faithinwhatever. And at Jamothy Ewell, at TStudentLife, at Josh_Carmen, at Marion Ranch, and James is actually at James YUILE.
People are actually asking me if that's my name now.
James YUILE.
All right, everybody.
How do you spell
See you
that?
later.